Okay, so I made that video the other day about the Exmark Vantage and how I missed that mower, and I've been looking for like a year and a half and couldn't find one. Well, I found its equivalent, which is the Toro Grandstand. So as I've mentioned many times before, my two favorite decks are Toro's Turbo Force deck and Exmark's Ultra Cut deck. So I found one. I was looking for a winter project, something to work on, and I found a winter project. So this thing needs some work, but I think it's well worth what I paid for it. So let's check it out. So here it is. It is a Toro Grandstand 52-inch deck. Right off the bat, I know that it needs two new rear tires. It needs two front tires. They're kind of screwed up. It's missing the pad for the platform there, and then there's another piece of tarp type stuff that comes up from the bottom right down there, that black brace, and it connects right to here. It does have a new pad on the back. He did have a 6.2 accelerator that he gave me with it. It has been modified, welded, the weld broke, bolted pieces in there. That's kind of screwed up the hook there. It definitely needs some work if I'm going to be able to use this accelerator, but he just threw that in. I wasn't really concerned with that. I know that I need to I'm going to change the oil on it, flush it out, put a new filter on it, put a new fuel filter on it, probably the air filter. I'm going to flush the hydro system and put new hydro fluid in it and a new filter on that. This battery is held on with screws right there in the terminals, so those need to be fixed, but it is a new battery. The PTO switch needs fixed. That thing took a crap. I already have one of those. There's tape over the handle here for the parking brake. No big deal. I'm not concerned with that because the rubber handles that go on there are cheap, and it needs one here too because that one's missing. So like I said, it does need work. It needs some stuff. I knew that buying it. I got a really good deal on it. But other than that, the deck is in great shape. No cracks, no re-welded, no nothing. The deck is in great shape. It still has the plastic covers on here, which are pretty rare. Those are usually missing. But I think it's going to be a really good mower. So let me get this thing off the trailer and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm going to try to cover this as best I can. I'm going to go through everything and you will kind of get an idea of where I stand at this point. That issue coming off the trailer was a carb issue. I believe some things the guy knew about probably and just didn't tell me. In his defense, I told him I was looking for a winter project. I by no means was looking for any perfect mower. Strictly looking for a winter project, something to do, tinker around with in the winter, and just to be back into either an Exmark Vantage or a Toro Grandstand. So let's get into this and I'll show you what I've done since then, where I stand, and how much I have invested into this whole thing. So here she stands now about a week and a half later, roughly. There is the guard that goes on the front here over this. What ended up happening with the way it was running like that is the car was screwed up. There was a leak in the bottom of the bowl. I think I have it up here. There it is right there. This whole solenoid, which these solenoids are usually like 60, 65 bucks. right there, that thing was leaking. It's cracked. The fuel was coming out of there, and it was leaking down all over the back side of this muffler guard. Not good. So instead of spending $60 on a new solenoid, I got a whole new carburetor for like 38 bucks. Came with all the gaskets, and it came with a new fuel filter. Okay, so let's just go over some stuff. Brand new air filter, brand new battery. The battery box is now on it. The cover over it, he gave me on the side. That was not attached to it. So he had these rods that come up and hold it in place, was missing the nuts. So I put 2 lock nuts on there, fixed that. I took off the terminals and put regular bolts in there instead of the screws he had in there. I took all the terminals, all the wiring to the starter, to the solenoid. I took everything off, cleaned everything, put dielectric grease and everything, put it all back together. New fuel filter. Changed the oil and the oil filter. Hydro filter right there. I have not flushed this out yet. The new hydro filter will be here today. I put a new carburetor on. The next thing it needs, this is the choke cable. It would not run, what I found out, it would not run without the choke on. As soon as you go turn the choke off, mower would die right out. So I had them come in the other day. They gave me all new electric, new power boxes up there, way back there. They gave me a whole separate plug for my generator. They put a subfeed box in here from inside the house. I now have that's a comfort zone industrial heater, 7,500 watts. I have right over there, I have the remote to set to wherever I want. So I finally, after all these years, have heat in here. I have a designated plug for the compressor, all that, but we'll get into that later. So, the new filter for the hydro is supposed to be here today. I'll get that done. The oil change is already done. I put brand new spark plugs in it. Oh, that's what I was getting at. So I had to start this up and move these outside for the guy to do my electric the other day. And I pulled up on the choke and it would not move. So I couldn't get it to start without the choke, and I pulled it back and I bent the cable. I think it snapped off inside there. The new choke cable will be here Monday. The tires on this thing, they're 2 different size tires, 2 different style tires, 2 different brand tires. Right up there, 2 brand new tires. Going over Ryan's today to swap them over and put the brand new tires on. The front tires are garbage. The rims aren't in the best shape. The tires are completely shot. 2 brand new tires are right here. Okay, this is the front cover that goes over the air filter, by the way. Now, on to back here. This pad, I noticed the corners were folding right over on this pad, but the material's in really good shape. The padding's in good shape. I pulled all the staples out of it, pulled it apart. This is the old piece of wood that was in it. You can see how they're bent. They're broke right off in the corners. So what I did was, and this is only 1/2 inch thick. It's like cabinet grade plywood. I called my father-in-law that builds cabinets and has a wood shop, and he had 3/4 inch cabinet grade plywood. He cut me a piece, brought it to me. In the corners, they have inserts that go in. They look like this, and they pound in from the back. And then the bolt goes through the bracket here and into those inserts, and that's what holds it on. So I pulled it all off. He cut me a new piece of wood. I got all new inserts. I pounded the new inserts into it, and I pulled the upholstery back over it. I have an air stapler, and I just spent some time here yesterday, stretched it tight, stapled it back together, and have a whole brand new pad with 3/4 inch thick wood instead of the 1/2 inch that comes on it. So got that knocked out. These bushings that go in here that hold them in place, I ordered 2 new ones. Only one of them on this mower was good. The other one was crap. Okay, they look like this. I kept the only good one. The other 2 were crap. So I put those on. 2 brand new ones of them. Whole new pad. This is all brand new. I took this off here. This metal bracket was all rusted looking. I sanded it down, spray painted it black. I put this whole new pad on here. This brand new pad here. And I put brand new hardware in it there. And all the brand new hardware in the back. When you flip this up, see those rubber bumpers? 2 there. 2 there. Those are all brand new, and you see how it looks a lot wider there? there's different adjustment points on these. And this was a big thing that I really liked about the Exmark Vantage. You could unbolt it and you could slide the axle out on both sides to give it a much bigger, wider stance so it handles hills better. The Exmark Vantage did it. I wasn't sure if these Toros do it, and they do. So I unbolted both sides of the axles and I spread each one out, and it gives you an additional 6 inches of width. Doesn't sound like much, but there's the difference in this side. It was bolted in right there. Now it's bolted in there because I pulled this whole axle outward. So definitely better for hills. I love that about the Vantage. So I was happy to see that the Toro does it too. Okay, so I took care of that. Fuel gauge, you couldn't even read it. It was so bad, so hazed over like headlights get on a vehicle. I took 500 grit sandpaper and I just worked at it for a while, and then I took this stuff here for doing plastic. It's made by Meguiar's. It's like $6 or $7 for a bottle of it at Harbor Freight. It doesn't take much at all, and I cleaned it right up, and now, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because the light's reflecting from up there, but it looks like brand new. It's perfectly clean. So anyway, the PTO switch. The PTO switch was bad. I put a brand new one of those on. He's got tape over the brake control right there. The grips that go over top of there and go over top of there, those both are supposed to be here today, so I got brand new grips for those. I don't know what else I have for this. I'm not really sure. I think that's everything. I think I've covered everything that I've bought for this. Oh, I ordered new belts. Those will be here probably Monday. This cover here is broken right here. I can stick my finger right inside there. Order a new one of those. That will be here Monday. So the only parts I'm waiting on now still is the deck belt, this guard right here, the rubber covers for both of those grips, which will be here today. Waiting on the choke cable, which will be here today or Monday. And that's it. So the last thing I have to do to it is all the tires. So over the next like 4 or 5 days, it's supposed to be in the mid to high 40s over the next 4 or 5 days. And I'm going to get this thing outside. I am going to spray it down with purple power, let it sit on there like you guys know I always do with my mowers. And then I'm going to pressure wash this thing, and I think it'll actually clean up really nice. There's no need to paint it. It's dull. It's dirty. I'm going to wait to see what it looks like after I get done washing it. I think it's going to look great. I might paint up the back rims. The front ones will be brand new. No need to paint up those. And we're going to go from there. I think it's going to be awesome. Okay guys, now I know this has been kind of a long video, but I had a lot to cover, and I know one of the first things you guys are going to ask me, why didn't I record any of these repairs? And I seriously thought about it. I pulled cameras out. I had cameras out here a bunch of days in a row, and I was going to film all kinds of stuff I was doing it, but this is more like, if you remember the video I made that inspired all of this, and my biggest regret is selling that Vantage, this is more of a labor of love for me. I did not need this mower. I have the Walker MT, which is a phenomenal mower. I have the B, which 200 hours on it. I have the Wright Sport X, which has 190 hours on it. I mean, I didn't need to buy this mower, but I want this mower. And it's more of a labor of love for me. I didn't want to mess with cameras. I wanted to take my time and just do what I do to it, you know, do my own little thing to it, and just have a lot of fun and just be relaxed and just enjoy what I was doing with it. And so that's what I did. So, you know, in that regard, guys, I'm sorry for not making a ton of repair videos on it. I can easily explain. I know that this mower turns out just like I thought. It is identical to the Exmark Vantage. So, you know, it was so simple to do everything I need to do on this. I didn't really have to figure anything out. It was all exactly the same as stuff I'd done the other one. So I really, really have had a lot of fun with this. I cannot wait to run this mower. And I will bring it back, and once I get all the tires switched and I get it pressure washed, cleaned up, and it's ready to go, I'll bring you guys back and show you another one of the final product when it's done. But it's just been awesome for me, and I've really, really enjoyed working on this thing, and it was just more for me. I just want, like I said, I want to take my time. I don't want to have to worry about cameras and all that stuff, but there will be plenty of footage with this thing come spring, come summer. I'm gonna rock the hell out of this mower, and I can't wait. And another huge plus, another one of the main reasons I got it, is by running this. I use my walkers for almost everything, but for the lawns that I need to run a stander on, I just need to bang them out. That sort of property, I can keep the hours off that Wright so I can still sell it, which I'm going to do. That mower needs to go. I have zero interest in running that mower. It needs to be sold, so I can keep the hours off that and put them all on this. So what do I have into this? I'm not going to tell you exactly what I paid for it, but between what I paid for it and all the parts that I've bought for it so far, I mean, I just ran through everything I've bought for this thing. So between what I paid for it and what I have into it, I'm well under $2,000. So I got this thing very cheap. So it was very, very good deal, and well worth it.